Hello. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me well? You can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Sorry about the delay. There was another meeting that was going on right before ours, so it couldn't connect us. How's everybody doing? All right? We're making it?
Yep, making
Yeah,
it.
hanging in there. How are you?
Doing good. So we're just going to take a little bit of time this morning and talk about LinkedIn. So what I am going to do is share my screen. But Anna, is there something that, I'm sorry, Anita, is there something that you wanted to share with the class before we get started with the presentation?
No, I saw them earlier today. We got everything taken care of.
Okay, terrific. So I am going to first put my glasses on so I can see my screen. And this is being recorded, so if you all want to get a copy of this afterwards, I'll send it to Anita and then she can distribute it to all of you. How's that sound, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go on over to PowerPoint. Get us in slides. Okay, so I cannot see your messages in chat. So Anita, will you manage those? And if anyone has questions, then you can just share them out loud. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So I want you to engage as much as you can. Please feel welcome to put your questions or comments in the chat box. And then at the end, we'll go over them. So we're going to start because one of the reasons why I wanted to share this information with you on LinkedIn is because it is the #1 platform for networking, for getting information in regards to job search and also just learning about your industry. But of course, it's also very helpful to build your career. So this graph here is showing the importance of having an online network. Now, I'm certain that many of you already use social media. Maybe you're using Instagram or TikTok. I don't know all the latest ones for the younger generation, but you already have a online profile. You have a footprint in the digital world. The thing that is important for you to remember, especially as individuals who are entering the job market, is that employers will search your online profile. Most times, the statistics say at least 50% of hiring managers look at your online profile before they even give you a call. So this graphic here is showing how important it is to have an online presence. So these are the statistics for individuals who just do networking the old-fashioned way. You hand your resume off to someone. So that's the traditional way of distributing your CV or your resume, or you're contacted by a recruiter. But you can see here, the more people you know online, the better your chances are for finding a job. And if you have a really rich network, you can see that it increases significantly online and offline. So LinkedIn is the most used social media platform among all major companies. There are 260 million users, and 40% of those users are logging in daily. The other thing is that about 90% of influencers, and I think the number is 70% of hiring managers or decision makers, as they're called, are using LinkedIn. So that is one of the reasons why it's one of the largest platforms, because it's a way that you can build your network and engage with others for opportunities. So let's take a minute and watch this video. And Anita, please let me know if you can't hear it. But this is a video talking about using LinkedIn for students. It's just a minute and a half.
Okay.
And of course, it did work 1 minute ago. Now, maybe because of the bandwidth on this platform being used a lot, it's not showing up. Okay, well, we've got to fail on this one, folks. We're going to have to move on because I can't get that to work. But this video, I'll send the link out, is sharing how useful LinkedIn is.
If you're watching this, chances are good you want to get a job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. You've never been there before, but that's okay because you have LinkedIn on your side. You start by creating your profile. You give it love because you know it's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your resume that never sleeps. It's your flashing neon sign that says, hire me, for the love of all that is good in this world, hire me. Then you start making connections. Alumni working in New York? Yes. Recruiters at top companies in New York? Yes. Your mom's best friend? Yes. You start imagining who you want to walk in. You think, wow, this is a lot of deep stuff to consider. You shake yourself out of it and start searching for jobs. Whoa, that's a lot of jobs for students. Time to get down to business. You start to tailor your profile. You start applying. You feel empowered, in control, like you should be CEO. That gives you an idea. You look up all the CEOs of all the companies you want to work at. You see one of them went to your university. Then it hits you. You see a clear path from campus to career. You feel like you can see the future. You wonder if you're psychic. Should you start a hotline? No, back to plan A. You keep tailoring and connecting and applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, then an interview, and then you're hired. And that's when the real learning begins.
So
if you're watching this,
in a nutshell, that is an overview of LinkedIn. So how do companies fill jobs? Well, there's the hidden market, which is step one. Companies usually will hire from within. That's about 10% of how they fill jobs. Then another 45% is through networking. That's why your relationships matter and why it's important to connect with people who can support your career. The third is companies fill jobs by just doing a resume search. And then the fourth way that they do it is they post a job. But you see, only 30% of organizations actually post positions. So I'm going back to, that is why it's important to have a network and have an online profile, because many jobs aren't even advertised. So when you're creating your LinkedIn profile, I use the free account. Now I have almost, 4,000 connections just on LinkedIn, and I only use the free version. I haven't had a reason to boost up. But if you want to pay for it monthly, it's something like $79 a month. I think that if you are strategic in the way that you use your profile, like me, you won't have to pay for it. So you'll have your photo, headline, summary, courses, SEO. We'll talk about that just a tiny bit. You'll have ways to look at your connections, put your experience and endorsements and recommendations. But this SEO and keywords is a little piece that we're going to talk about in more detail, because that helps you get found. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. So when you put in specific words, your profile kind of bubbles to the top of that internet search. So I want to first begin by saying it's important that you use an appropriate photo. Nowadays, we have wonderful cameras on our phones, so you could get away with not having to have a professional session. But when you have a profile photo, look at that. You get 14 times more views than if you didn't. have a photo. And what should our photo look like? Well, we don't want to do okay? That should not be your photo. Something more like that is much more appropriate. So it matters because it's your first impression. And statistics reveal that people will make a determination about you within 8 seconds. Whether it's online or if it's in person, they make a determination about you within 8 seconds of meeting you, virtually or in person. So your picture really does matter. And when you're doing your profile, you're creating a summary. So you want to stand out. You want to tell your story. In your story, you're talking about your experiences and the things that you aspire to do. And then you want to think of your summary like your best written cover letter. So you're going to talk about what motivates you. You'll describe your accomplishments and your skills, and you'll talk about what makes you unique. Now, when I say what makes you unique, sometimes that scares individuals because you think like you've got to come out and, you know, it's got to be something that nobody else ever does. But that's not what unique means. Unique means it's unique because it's you. So I share that I am a unique speaker, not because, you know, there's millions of speakers, but what makes me unique is my style, my presence, my way of engaging my audiences. So when you think about your uniqueness, maybe it's your uniqueness in how you deliver customer service, where people walk away and feel like, you know what, Anita really was helpful to me. So don't get caught up in that word unique. So what does your headline look like? And we are going to go into LinkedIn and I'll show you some specifics. But this could be your headline. You've got your professional photo and then you've got a background. Now, I've seen business leaders who have a background that is their whole team. Maybe your background image is something about your college or you engaging with other students. But your background does matter as well, because when people are looking at your profile, it's the first image that they have of you. And then you will have a small summary. This is called the headline. So I have here my unique ability to empower, inspire, and educate. So this is what, when people search on your name, this is the whole image that they'll get, and that's why it matters. Now, I said it's important to be keyword rich. And the reason, a keyword is a word that people will look up to find you. So a keyword that you might put in is radiologist. A keyword that you might put in might be internship. But when it comes to your profile, you want to use as many keywords because that's how people are going to try to find people like you in your profile. So you might have radiologists, you might have inspiring student, not inspiring student, recent graduate. You might have, I don't know, other keywords that describe what you're looking for and who you are. So my keywords are speaker, author, trainer. So think about what you want people to, how you want people to find you and what words they might use, and you be sure to include those in your profile. The other thing is to make sure that you customize your profile link. So when, just like anything, once you sign up, LinkedIn is going to give you your profile link so that you can give that to other people and say, this is how you find me on LinkedIn. And it's going to be like linkedin.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It's some number. You want to customize that and edit it so that it is your name. So that is, first of all, easier for you to give out, but it's also easier for people to find you. It's another way that they're searching for you or your name. They don't have to be looking for numbers. So you have to tell your story. That's part 2. I picked this person out. This is Charles Arday. And you can see He is really good at telling his story. For students, you might not have a rich history of work experience. So you want to talk about your industry. You want to have a call to action. A call to action is something like, contact me, or review my profile, or visit my online website, something like that. So Charles says, I'm a voracious reader who loves to learn and analyze things. I'm very effective communicator. I'm a tech and business savvy person who follows robotics. So he is telling his story. And again, you only have, people will review your online profile the same way they'll review your resume. So you only have just a few seconds, literally, to grab their attention. So you want to make sure, look how clear and clean this is with the spacing, so that it's easy for your audience to read. Of course, we want to share our experience. So our first engagement was around building your resume. What you're going to do is take the information from your resume and plop it into LinkedIn. And when I was visiting you, I was sharing how important it is for you to list your accomplishments, because that is going to help you to stand out. So you might say, assisted the vice president with a campaign that generated new customer profiles, or you reduced patient wait times by 5 minutes per visit as an X-ray tech. Whatever your accomplishment is, maybe you helped the executive director at the food bank to support local homeless residents. Whatever it is, you want to list your accomplishments, and then of course add any projects, photos, or videos. And we're going to go into LinkedIn and see some of this live. It's important as well that you add graphics and videos. And there's many reasons for doing that, because the statistics show that when you add photos and when you add videos, you start to rank higher in the search engines. And we know search engines, like Google is a search engine, right? Within LinkedIn, they have their own internal search engine. So if you are posting content that is a video or it is a graphic, it ranks higher. Why? Because people like those. So they will watch it or they will read it. And that helps your ranking to go up. So it increases your visibility, and it also extends your reach. Now, when I talk about reach, that is very important, because although I might post this here, this is when I was there last year with Cheryl, and I took the picture of the class. Maybe I showed this to you before. What do we have? 38 likes or something? Over 1,500 views. 1,500. So that is our reach. I tagged Cheryl. So when I tagged Cheryl, that made me visible to her network. So there'll be a message that comes up that says, Cheryl was tagged in this post to her network. And that helps you to extend your reach. Of course, it also will demonstrate something about your character, because you're going to build your influence, you're going to build your network, and you're going to make connections because people want to engage with you. So by demonstrating your character, not only does it help for recruiters to see what kind of person you are outside of the resume and help you stand out, but it also helps other people to see what kind of, ways, interests that you have, and ways that you support other people. And I have seen other students post things like sitting in class, learning English with some of my buddies. It's just a way to share and to get noticed and to extend opportunities for yourself. Another way or another opportunity for you to share about who you are is to add whether or not you are volunteering, because that is something that you can add on your profile. So I volunteer at this one organization. Maybe you only volunteer 1 hour a month. Well, it's still noteworthy to put there. And surveys reveal that your volunteer experience can really help you have an edge with hiring managers. It's one way that you can stand out. So if you do something at your church, or you help a local organization, maybe there's plenty. I can tell you, TCN is a nonprofit organization. So, there are many, many organizations that would be more than willing to have you volunteer, and then you have something that you can put on your resume. And again, depending on your industry, some volunteer work is considered just as valuable as paid work experience. And it's also a way for you to build your skills. And I'm not trying to beat down and make you volunteer. So maybe this isn't helpful for you right now, but as you grow in your career, maybe you don't have an opportunity to share how you are a leader. But if you volunteer, that will help you to develop those leadership skills. And then that is something that you can use in your professional career. Does that make sense? Anita, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Absolutely. What do you guys think?
Is anybody currently a volunteer? You can unmute yourself and talk about it.
I'm not a volunteer, unfortunately.
I am not a volunteer. I wish I had time to volunteer.
That's the thing. It's you guys are just trying to finish school right now.
Right.
Mhm.
But it's something to think about in the future. Something to think about. But let's say you don't have any experience, okay? You don't have experience in your industry, and maybe you don't have experience in the workplace, but that's okay. Again, recruiters, hiring managers, they're not just looking at your work experience. They are looking at who you are as a person. So this is an opportunity where you might be able to list your honors or awards or any recognition that you have. You'll list your classes, languages, certifications. Maybe you participated on some team project, and you can still shine online by sharing those experiences. So now let's dig into building your network. Look at this, 80% of job advertisements. I said earlier it was 40%, depending on the industry. A lot of places never advertise. So how can you build your network? Start with your classmates, professors, teaching assistants, family, friends, maybe someone that you worked at, I don't know, Chick-fil-A when you were younger. Those are the people that I always tell folks to start with, because maybe they aren't the person, but they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I have close to 4,000 connections, and anytime I'm looking for opportunity for myself, or someone asks me to help them with something, I can reach out to any one of those 4,000. I'm not saying that I'm friends with every one of them, but because I keep my profile fresh, I can reach out to any of those folks and say, do you know someone that knows someone? And I'll share with you how you can look at how the connections that other people have can help you to succeed. Because maybe you don't know the director of the clinical department at Children's Hospital, but you might know someone that knows someone that knows that person.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it happens in the radiography field, where you know somebody who knows somebody. For sure. Networking is big in radiology.
Yes. And then by you having a profile online, I'm going to tell you, this is exactly the way it works. So let's say Anita knows someone that I want to know. So when Anita sends an introduction message to that person, let's call them person A. Do you know what person A does? Person A goes right over to your profile before they might even respond to Anita to see and to learn about you. And that's just how it works. So you want to broaden your network. So on LinkedIn, there are 3 ways that you can connect. You can go right to that person's profile and type in their name, or you can import your contact list, because once you start, and even once you're in the system, it will say, do you want to import all the people that are on your like email list? That's how I first started growing my LinkedIn profile, is because of all the emails that I had. It would say, do you want to invite this person? And it literally will send them an email to say, hey, join my network. But you can also use this feature called People Also Viewed. Now, I have highlighted this information here because when you select a person that you want to connect with, it is very important that you personalize your message. It says something about who you are, but people are very protective of their network and who they're connecting with. So you want to have a message there that may be inviting for them to say, yes, I'll invite this person to be part of my network. So I'll write something like, first, I'm going to review their profile, and I'll say, we have a lot of the same people in common, and we both love, and we both are part of the group Career Connections. I would like to join your network. Or you might write something like, I'm a recent college graduate, and I'm looking to grow my network with interesting people like you, and you share great content. I'd like to connect. Don't overthink it, but review the person's profile so you can maybe learn a little bit about them and maybe throw in a sentence about that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I usually don't accept the invitations of people. Number one, if you don't have a profile picture that I can look at, I'm just going to skip over you. Number two, if you send me a LinkedIn connection and then I respond back, thank you, great to be connected, and you don't respond back, then I unconnect, because I'm interested in engaging with the people I'm connecting with. And so if they don't respond back, I usually don't invite them or become a part of their network. A big tool you can use in LinkedIn is called the alumni tool. We're going to dig into that, but you can see here, I attended Penn State. On this alumni tool, we can see where people live, where they work, what they do, and you can immediately just connect with those folks. Now, how are you going to grow your network? It's important, once you have your profile developed, that if you post at least once a day, maybe you post an article about how hospitals are managing through the virus. I don't know. But if you post something once a day, you will reach 60% of your network. Why is that important? Because you want to be engaging. You want to be top of mind for people. So if you have 100 connections and you post once a day, the chances are 60 of those people will see your content on a daily basis. That helps you to grow your network. And if you're posting interesting information, then they might even start to share your content, and that gets you even more connections. But every time someone likes your post or they comment on your post, that makes you visible in their network, and that's how you continue to grow. So if you post links with images, that drives your engagement. Share other people's content. I don't always create my own content. I follow people who share interesting information, especially if you're just starting and you're like, I don't know what to share. Well, find someone who is similar to you or someone who shares interesting comment that engages you, and just reshare or repost that same content. Comment on the companies you like to follow. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have gotten two paying gigs from following companies. and following people and engaging with them. One of them was IKEA. Last year, I was one of their keynote speakers for a major event. Why? Because there's really one person that's manning that IKEA profile online. So you think it's like this huge company behind? No, it's one person. So by me continuing to engage, when they had something come up, whose name was on the top of that one person's mind, who then said, you might want to bring this person in. Is that helpful? Do you see how it can work?
Yep.
Participate in group discussions. We'll talk about joining groups, because people in those groups are either have similar interests as you, or those people know people that you might want to know. So I'm involved in career groups. You might be involved in, Anita, you might be able to help with this radiology group of Philadelphia.
Right.
And by engaging in that group, you're exposing yourself to all the other people who have that same interest, and they're getting to know you. And when opportunities come up, they can say, hey, I remember Melina was one person that's constantly engaging. They might even reach out to you separately and say, I don't know if you saw this, but here's an opportunity for you. It happens all the time. And then, of course, you want to keep your profile updated. Okay. I'm saying here, be a blessing. So this is blessing. I'm going to say Odegain.
Close enough, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Blessing was a student at Drexel University. So we all know Drexel down in Philadelphia, who became very engaged in LinkedIn. She's actually one of the founders for LinkedIn for Students. She only did this like 4 years ago. Well, Blessing just started saying, hey, LinkedIn, you don't have stuff for students like me. And she is now an ambassador for LinkedIn because of how she started using LinkedIn to support other students and to grow her network. And I think now we're going to go see her page. She has about 30,000 followers or something like that.
Ooh,
so
that's awesome.
it is. And she grew it herself by just engaging. Everybody starts small. She started with a handful of people, and now Blessing is an ambassador. The other way that you can be seen, but it's also a way that people can support your career success, is to get what we call skill endorsements. So you're going to, as you complete your profile, you're going to select different skills, and people will actually click this plus button. You see all these people are people who click this plus button and said, Adrienne has skills in leadership. Adrienne has skills in training. It's just a click of a button, but it helps you, again, as people are looking for radiologists. If you have a lot of endorsements for radiology, well, that's going to pop in that search engine optimization. It's going to bubble you up so that when managers are looking for your skills, your profile will be at the top. Also, get recommendations. They're very, very important, because as people are looking at your profile, they want to see what other people have said about you. So don't be afraid to ask your professors. Don't be afraid to ask your friend's mother to put a recommendation in for you. Don't be afraid to ask an old colleague or maybe one of your past managers to write a recommendation for you. But here's the thing. I'm going to give y'all a cheat. People get scared when you ask them for a recommendation. They do. You're like, oh God, I got to write, this. So what I tell my coaching clients to do is to almost basically write it for them. So you can say, Anita, I would be most honored if you wrote a recommendation for me. You can share how we both work together at ABC Company, and I help the team to grow our customer success rate? Right there, you just gave them what they can write about, and it makes it easier for them. I've seen other people say, just write the whole thing out and say, you know, based on our engagements, this is a recommendation. Do you mind sharing this to my audience? People will do it for you, but you have to ask, and you have to make it easy for people. And that's the same way when I tell folks, like when you're asking someone to, I've seen people say, if you see a job about radiology, will you pass my resume along? That's not enough. You're asking people to do work for you.
Right.
So what you have to say is, here's my resume. These are my top skills, and these are the companies I'm looking to work for. If you see an opportunity that fits my skills and my target market, will you pass it along? So that helps them, so they don't have to figure out what to do. We just talked about getting recommendations, people you previously worked for, even writing down and getting individuals maybe that you worked with on a group project. Again, you're just starting out, and employers know that. So they're not going to be expecting for you to have this grandiose recommendation, you know, on how you save the world. But what's important is that you have people who are vouching for you. People are saying that you are enthusiastic. People are saying that you're a team player. People who are saying that you have leadership skills. People are sharing that you're passionate about your work, because you want them to talk about who you are in addition to how you work. And one of the ways that you get recommendations is you give recommendations. It's a reciprocal thing, almost like you know, people would say karma. There's a job feature in LinkedIn, and I'm going to go a little faster. You have to manage your settings, and then there are resources that you can use that will help you. Beyond what I'm sharing today, there's a tip sheet that you can use that has all kinds of ways about setting up your profile. There are videos. So let's skip over to that. Let me end the slideshow. I'm going to get this out so we can see the LinkedIn tip sheet. Here we go. LinkedIn for students. So you can watch the video, but look at this. How to get hired. Job hunting handbook. Build your professional brand. Here's a profile checklist on building your checklist. How to use LinkedIn to find an internship. So again, LinkedIn is the #1 recruiting site. It is where the decision makers are. It is where you can build your network, and all of these resources tailoring your profile to your goals. How to communicate effectively on LinkedIn. This was that video I showed you earlier. Here's a top 5 to-dos. So you're going to get this information. I encourage you to go over, learn as much as you can, get started, and get rocking. So now let's go on over to LinkedIn. All right, since we've been on this call, I've got two people who wanted to join my network, and I got 2 notifications. But over here, I shared in the beginning that you can find people to connect with. So this is that people also view that I talked about. And you can click here. I'm just going to click anybody. Okay, I don't want to click the CEO of Visa. We'll click Jerry Lee. So I click Jerry Lee. Oh, Jerry Lee, you can only follow him. Why? Because he probably gets a lot of people trying to connect with him because he is associated with Google. Let me find somebody else. Why do I have all these Google folks in my search? I don't know what I was doing. He's the head of operations of Google. But you know what this is helping us to see? Look, I'm only 2 degrees away from the head of sales and operations and strategy at Google. So that means somebody that I know is connected to him.
Right.
That's why I wanted to share the importance of connecting with people. All right, let me go. You know why I got all those people also always viewed? Because I was on Blessings page. That's why that happened. All right, but let's go on back to Blessing. This is that student that is now an advocate for LinkedIn. You can see here in her profile, look at her profile. See, it's not all fancy. She's saying, through my profile and content, I want you to see who I really am. If you're a student, I don't want you to be intimidated by the success you see. If you're a recruiter, I want you to see my diverse background didn't put me in a disadvantage. If you're someone else, I hope the theme that you see is that I love to serve. Who wouldn't want to hire Blessing?
I know, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then her, oh, look, I said she had 30,000. I'm all exaggerating. She had 13,000, 13,000 followers. And this is showing her activity. So when I click activity, I can see articles that Blessings posted. I can see her actual posts. This is what she's posted, but I can also see documents. So if there's anything that you do, well, you can go in and add these things, and then we can see all of Blessing's activity. See, this is showing us that she replied to some person. Now, this is exposing her to Curate Day's audience. So if you were to like something on Anita's post, it's going to show up that you liked or comment on, just like Facebook, okay? So let's go on over to jobs. Here's a job section, okay? Search your job. I was doing this earlier, radiologist. Now you can turn this on or off. So in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, there are 249 results. If you want to be alerted every time there's a radiologist job in Philadelphia, you're going to turn that on. And then you can learn about the companies. Each one of them, see, this is the, let's just go here, Epic. Epic. I can learn about the company, the job requirements, what's responsible. Here's the highlights. Because I put it, I'm at Penn State, it said 93 people from Penn State work at this company. Then I can click this and find out who are those people and start to connect with them. I can send a message. Hey, you work at Epic and I'm interested in the position and I would love to learn something from you. So you see that? Look how easy that is.
Right.
And if you want to change that, see up here, I put Radiologist Philadelphia, but you can do by zip code. I could say just the United States, because maybe I don't want to be a radiologist just in Philadelphia. Maybe I want to see all of them. Woo! 15,000 results. So I just wanted to share that. You can see, maybe you want to sort by when those were posted. You know what? I just want to see the jobs that were posted in the last day. And then hit the apply button. Well, these are all the 96 jobs for radiologists were posted in the last day. We can look at the experience level. So maybe you say, well, how many of them are entry level? So it's just doing a search, getting it down. Okay, there are 11 entry level radiologist jobs in the United States. This is how you can use LinkedIn to find a position. And if you click this, then you can get like really fancy and really, you know, dig down and funnel your search for what you are specifically looking for. Samantha, do you think this is helpful? Okay.
I do. It's very helpful. Thank you.
Good. Now, so we talked about the job. What else did I want to show you over here? Let's go on over to creating your profile. So I'm going to go to me, view the profile. And you see here, you can upload videos. Just hit the plus button and you can do that. this information here, you'll get a dashboard, so you'll see who's viewed your profile. This is important. Now, you have to pay money if you want to really dig deep, but I always look at who's viewed my profile, because I can say, oh, look, Gina looked at my profile and I'm not connected to her. And if she is someone that I want to be connected to, I will hit the connect. Oh God, I just invited her. It didn't let me. What do you have to do? I'm glad I made that mistake, because what you have to do, I can go over here. I think I can. Yes, I think I can undo that. But what I encourage people to do is not to use your phone to invite people to your network, because on the mobile app for LinkedIn, it doesn't allow you to craft a message. So you have to go here. Oh, it looks like Gina.
Oh, she did. That was fast.
No, what it was that Gina actually sent me an invite. That's why I had to accept. Okay, let me find somebody. Oh gosh, let me find somebody else. Who's here? Okay, Benjamin, are you on LinkedIn?
No.
Okay, anybody online on LinkedIn?
I am, but my profile is bad right now.
Okay, that's
I am,
okay.
but-
Wait, Loriel. Did I spell your name right?
Yes.
Okay, there you are. See, you're a third degree away from me, right? So I'm going to click on your name. All right. We just need a headshot, okay?
Okay.
So use your phone and just get a good angle, okay? And then upload it. I love your background.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Look, look. I am proud of you. When did you start this?
I'm not sure, but I need to edit it.
Yes, you do. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep it fresh. But she's saying here, I'm currently a student, and this is what she is interested in. She's got her jobs here, her education. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. She's got her skills and endorsements here. So let me see. Oh, you know what? I can't endorse you until we connect. So when you are online, if I hit connect, it should ask me, yes, do I want to add a note? See, if you do it on your computer, it's not going to let you add that. So I'm going to say here, hello, you have an interesting profile and we have some common connections. I'd like to get to know you better and learn and engage. Okay, and engage. All right. All right, there we go. And I'll say, okay, of course I will fix my spelling and all that. And then I just send the invitation. There we go. So it's that easy. Are you going to accept me, Loriel?
Yes, I will.
Okay, what else can we look at here? Messaging. Okay, so you can message anybody. What? She sent me a message.
Oh.
On the line with Muna, would you be willing to connect about your journey? Look at God. Here I am giving you this presentation on LinkedIn, and then someone who is working at Merck sends me a connection and says, I'm on the line with Muna Baji. Would you be willing to connect about your journey? Is that not crazy? I just got an opportunity right there.
Right.
Witness that. Now let me let you know who Muna Baji is. Senior Vice President at Merck. She's somebody that I used to work with. Okay? Big time. She does global work in enabling medications to get through. So I just, see, you all just witnessed how powerful LinkedIn can be. Now let me get back to her and say yes. Okay, let me just say yes. Let me just set to this. Oh, this is too. But this is how you do it.
You forgot a number.
Okay, thank you. See, good thing I got folks looking over for me. There you go. All right. So you guys just witnessed in real life the power of connections and being online. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm so excited. I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay.
I'm glad that worked out while we were here.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to see it.
Yeah.
So now here we are. So my top tip is to always invite others to connect with you. Is better than asking for a business card. Because when you're online and when you're clicking around, you become much more visible to people. You can stay top of mind, because every time I like someone's post, they get a notification that says, Adrienne liked your post. If I make a comment, it says, Adrienne made a comment. And so you stay top of mind for folks. And so starting out, you might not want to write a comment because you're nervous, because you're new, and you know what, that's okay. But as you get used to using the platform, you will grow and you'll become more comfortable. So it's important to connect now. You can like the TCN page, you can send me an invitation, and you don't have to make it all fancy. You can just say, hey, I'm in the radiology class, and I'll know it's you, and I'll accept you. And then, of course, you can always contact me, and I'll be willing to help you, okay? So that is the high-level overview. Anybody have questions? You can unmute your phone. Did you see any questions in the chat box, Anita?
No.
Okay. Here's my website. But also in my profile, I'm always sharing things that help you develop personally and professionally. I'm not trying to sell myself. What I'm doing is offering myself as a resource. I teach economics and entrepreneurship and marketing at a different university. And students and young professionals are dear to my heart. So I'm really interested in your success and helping you to be your best self. So you can always reach out to me. That's all I got for today.
Well, thank you so much for being so flexible, you know.
Absolutely.
With the whole coronavirus thing and not being able to come to the college, you were able to, you know, change your plans and do it virtually. So we really appreciate that.
Great.
We really do.
Great. So I will, Anita, send you this video once it's done. Folks, it's not
Okay.
it's not going to be edited, okay? Going to just run
Oh,
through.
that's fine.
But I wish you all much success. And again, if I can help any of you in any way, I am literally a click or a call away. I really do mean that, okay?
Thank you.
Coach Adrienne.
All
Nobody
right,
has questions?
Thank you. We appreciate it.
good.
Okay.
Have
Thank
a
you.
great day. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.